Hi guys, Paul from Warrior Tactical Systems. In this video we're going to look at a training tool we can use to make our techniques more efficient with our gun, knife, or empty hand, and we're going to look at some of the drills we use to develop those skills. If you're new to the channel, please hit like and subscribe and get a free digital download of our DVD Countering the Active Shooter. There's a link in the description below. Also, don't forget the Warrior Training Finder app is out. It's available for Android and iPhone. If you want quality, cutting-edge training in firearms, martial arts, and emergency medical skills, please download the app. So the tool itself, this, I saw some people do this online and I wanted to try it myself, so my brother made this for me, and I'll kind of show you what it is here first, and then we'll get into some uses of it. Okay, so this is a training device you can use for speed here. So we have wood back, which is this a board here. This is all scrap my brother had around his shop. We have a piece of steel here in the back, and it's bolted, or well, it's got one little screw on there holding it on, just to kind of keep it tight against the back of the, I'll zoom out so it'll focus there. Keep it snug against the board, but not too snug because we're running the strap underneath of it. Okay. And then we have another piece of steel here, and this piece of steel has a bolt up here at the top, you can see. So this bolt is what's going to impact this steel back here plate, and you can see how it moves a little bit, and that's what we want. We want this to be loose and clang around a little bit. They're just held together with a couple of screws here through the whole thing, going from the board through the steel. And I put these little washers and extra nuts here just to hold this white piece on the front. This is a cutting board from Walmart I got for about less than $1. Now I have my shot timer on top here. It's upside down, so the ear is pointed straight at the steel there, and I have this steel bracket Nick put on the back of it. Let me move over here so you can see it. This steel bracket allows me to hook the shot timer to it. Now this is a work in progress. We want to make that a little bigger so it fits a little easier. I don't have to use the rubber bands, but it will work. So if you watch here, if I start my timer, okay, it ding starts, I hit this, and it shut the timer down at 2 seconds, 2.14 seconds. Okay. Let's show you that again. Alright, that time was 0.47 seconds. So that's the tool. Now let's look at how we can use it. Okay, so first off, just to put this in context, what we're looking at is efficiency of technique. Okay, working on your technique to make it faster. So, efficiency is key to that. Now, we'll get to tactics in a minute. Don't think this is necessarily tactics. This is just technique. I'm finding a way to make my technique more efficient. Okay, so with my timer here, and what's fun with measuring it is I can, when something's measured, it gets improved, right? And it's a way to allow you to focus and work a little extra and set some goals and keep working toward them. It keeps you motivated. If you look at my video on Manus X, same concept, with a gun, the Manus X, it allows you to measure things, keeps you motivated. This allows you to do the same thing with your knife, your empty hands, different things. So some of the things we can work are just our different knife draws, our opening techniques. So we have a video on that, an older video talking about the fastest way, fastest opening techniques. You can check that out. But this really helps you to make it more efficient. So if you look here, say I'm going to draw with my strong side, and I have a wave feature on this particular training blade. Okay, as I draw out here, and if I'm efficient, I'm going to be much faster. But what happens is a lot of us end up drawing back to the rear too far, and that's inefficient. It takes more time to get up to the front. So by working with this timer, it starts to teach you, for one, that endangers people behind you from cutting them, but also it's less efficient. So by coming out more to the side, I'm able to get that knife out that much faster. And this allows me to measure that and practice and improve it. So show you the slow way. If I draw back, okay, hand on the knife, drawing back and then going forward, that was 0.76 of a second. Let's see if we can make that a little bit more efficient. I'm hoping to get into the mid-6s. Okay, that was better than I hoped. That was 0.55, so that's a pretty good time. And that's what I'm looking for, making sure my technique's efficient and keep working the speed. Of course, you can work that with your hands up and going to the draw to get it out. I'm just working from the hand on the knife right now. Same concept with my support side blade. Okay, so I'm going straight out to the target, and that was 0.58. So that's with the karambit on the left side. I generally use that for weapon retention. If somewhere grabbing my gun, I can draw that out and cut them off the gun. We have a video on that. But that is a very fast technique because I'm going straight towards the target the entire time as I open it. Real quick safety tip on these knives. Use the training blades, okay? Especially at first to start out. If you're opening these and you close your hand too soon, or bring your fingers around, as that blade's opening, it can catch some of your fingers there and potentially cut you. So use these training blades. This is $25 on Amazon. It's not the exact blade I carry, but it uses the same mechanism. And this is the same thing. It's a Fox Karambit trainer. They make the cheap ones you can get on Amazon. This one's a little bit more expensive, but it approximates what I use for carry on that side. Same thing with fixed blade knives. So with fixed blade, you can see that it's going to be the fastest, especially with the hand on the blade. That was 0.49. I've gotten down 0.4 on that. So that's just a fixed blade here, with my hand already on the blade, of course. Your gun. You can also work your gun draw. Now I'm using a dummy gun right now, and I recommend you do the same. One thing with the gun, something to think about, is for the drill here, I'm going to punch it because I want to get it out there quick. But in reality, I generally want to keep my gun out and continue to fire more than one round on the target. So don't do this too much and develop bad habits. Sometimes I'll leave it out there and drive it out and try to find my sights. But it's a training tool. Again, it's something to allow you to work besides using your maintenance X or your shot timer on the range. Okay? Let's take a look at that real quick. So from concealment. Okay. So that was 0.89. So pretty quick. And this allows me to train, keeping my finger off the trigger as I present out and then coming onto the trigger as I'm going out. Again, I wouldn't want to punch in reality. Most of the time, I'm going to punch out and then find my sights, leave it out here so you can practice that once in a while. Another way you can practice with firearms, okay, we have a red dummy gun here, dummy magazine, and the nice thing about this is regular Glock magazines will fit in it. So, I'm going to drop the mag and just do a reload basically. So, gun's already out here, get my timer, with my reload, and practice it that way. Alright, 2.55, not real good, but you can get more and more efficient at that. You can use your live firearm, but you have to make sure you have a safe backdrop. Just all the safety rules for dry fire. Make sure there's no ammunition in the area. Check and double check your gun, and make sure you have a backstop. Like if you put this on a heavy bag down in your basement, you got a solid block wall back there that you could draw your gun into. You can put a pad on this so your gun's not banging into that every time, and you can work your reload. Okay. So some other things you can do with this is just your basic attacks with the knife, in general. So instead of working my draw, I can work on my jab, say. Okay, so start out with my timer here, and I can work that jab. Okay, so that was 0.34. Now I didn't have to step that time, so I can do the same thing with a lunge. I can't quite reach it. Okay, and it didn't quite go off because I didn't hit hard enough. Let's do that again. Alright, so 0.5. And, again, whatever your time is, just work on it. Try to improve it. You can even take out a measuring tape, measure out a set distance, how far you're going to be away, so you can practice your step with that. Same thing with empty hands. I can hang a pad from this, or I could just use my empty hands here, eye jab, something like that. Same concept, I can't reach. And I could fire that off, practice 0.50 again. That was some technique, getting the efficiency down with that, okay? But let's talk about tactics now, okay? So, just so you understand there's a difference and we need to understand what we're doing here. If I had somebody this close to me, I wouldn't draw out a firearm and then drive it out toward them where they could take it off of me or anything like that, okay? if I was this close, the fastest thing I can do is hit him and then go for my gun as I create distance, as I go on an angle forward if I can, or same thing with a knife. It's just faster. So if you watch here with my timer, okay, so I'm standing here talking, all right, so my time on that's 0.33, all right. So it's always faster to go with those empty hands, get that first shot, and then go for whatever weapon might be appropriate, depending on, of course, if it's appropriate for deadly force. I have multiple threats, they're talking about how they're going to kill me, that sort of thing, and I'm in fear for my life, then I could, use something along those lines as a tactic. But what we're working on here mostly, and what we've been talking about, is technique. Okay? So this is a really fun, efficient, cheap way to work your technique and make it more efficient, keep motivated in your training, keep getting faster. It's a lot of fun. The most expensive piece, of course, is the shot timer. This one's, $120, $150. It's a pack timer that I use for shooting. If you can get one that has adjustment of sensitivity, that might be a good idea on some of these. If you're interested in one of these, you don't want to make it on your own, let me know. My brother does make them. He's making them more efficient and a little nicer as we're going along. This is just our first prototype here. And it's definitely a work in progress, but a great way to work. Last thing on this, you can also use your live blades with the cutting board. The reason I had first put the cutting board on here was so I could stab it with a live blade and be able to work it with the live blade. So the timer here. So that's 0.56, and that's with the Spyderco Delica with the wave feature and the karambit ring, the Wise Man karambit ring. We have a video on this knife as well. But with the cutting board, that allows me to work it a little bit. Again, be cautious if you were to try to use the live blade. Alright guys, thanks for your time. Hope you enjoyed this. The Warrior Focus or Warrior Training Finder app is out. It's on iPhone and Google if you want quality training, firearms, martial arts, and emergency medical skills. Please download that. And please like and subscribe. Thanks for your time.